हेलो एंड वेलकम टू द न्यू वीडियो ट्यूटोरियल्स ऑफ हॉटस्पॉट बायोलॉजी विद ताहिर के साथ। आज हम हाजिर हैं फिर से एक नए इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक के साथ जिसका नाम है गैमेटोजेनेसिस। गैमेटोजेनेसिस को अगर मैं डिफाइन करूं, गैमेटो का फर्स्ट वर्ड क्या है? गैमेटो मींस गैमीट एंड जेनेसिस मीन द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ गैमीट्स। लेक्चर शुरू करने से पहले आपको ये बता दो बेटा जी कि जिस भी बच्चे को स्टडी मटेरियल चाहिए वो हमें कांटेक्ट करे। आपको पूरा का पूरा स्टडी मटेरियल दिया जाएगा और इन नोट्स, ये जो लेक्चर्स हैं, इनको सुनने के बाद उन नोट्स की अंडरस्टैंडिंग करने में ज़्यादा आसानी होगी। सो स्टे ट्यून्ड फॉर दैट। मैं बात कर रहा था गैमेटोजेनेसिस। गैमेटोजेनेसिस इज सिंपली द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ गैमीट्स। अब जो गैमीट्स होते हैं दे आर हैप्लॉइड। Gametogenesis can be defined as the formation of haploid gametes from the undifferentiated germ cells or the undifferentiated diploid germ cells. Gametogenesis में प्रोसेस कौन सा होता था? प्रोसेस ऑफ मेयोसिस। और मेयोसिस केवल और केवल कहाँ होती है? सिर्फ और सिर्फ जर्म सेल्स में। अब बात ये आई कि जर्म सेल्स प्रेजेंट कहाँ होते हैं। ऑब्वियस सी बात है, the gametes are produced by the primary sex organs. In case of males, the testes are the primary sex organs, and in case of females, the ovaries are the primary sex organs, which produce sperms and ova respectively. If I talk about the types of gametogenesis, basically gametogenesis is of two types. Obviously, it will be of two types because the gametogenesis will take process in males as well as females. If the gametogenesis takes place in males, it will be called as spermatogenesis because the male gametes are sperms, or you can say the formation of sperms will be called as spermatogenesis. And the another type is the oogenesis. The formation of oocyte or egg or ovum can be termed as oogenesis, which occurs in female. Right? If we talk about the stages of gametogenesis, right? Gametogenesis occur in three stages. For every gametogenesis, whether it is in male, whether it is in female, there will be three steps. The first step will be the multiplication. What happens in here? The germ cells are multiplicated. The diploid germ cells multiply themselves in the first phase. In the second phase, that germ cells increase their size, they increase the cell organelles, they increase the cytoplasm content, they increase the reserve food content in the second phase. And in the third phase, in the maturation phase, the process of meiosis happens and the primary germ cells are converted into the mature gametes. When we will study the spermatogenesis or oogenesis, we will study all these three phases. But if you are asked to define the gametogenesis in 1 or 2 marks, you have to define the stages along with the definition of the gametogenesis. First of all, we will study the process of gametogenesis in males. That is the process of spermatogenesis. That's why I have put the heading gametogenesis part number 1, that is spermatogenesis. What happens in case of spermatogenesis? There will be a formation of sperms in case of males, right? First of all, we should know where the process of spermatogenesis will occur. It is obvious that during the process of spermatogenesis, there will be formation of sperm cells, and these will be formed from the gonads. Now, which part of the gonads or which part of the testes are responsible for the process of spermatogenesis? I have told you in structure of testes that which parts are responsible for the formation of sperm. We will be revising that. Spermatogenesis basically occur in the seminiferous tubules of the testes, right? This is the objective number 1. These seminiferous tubules, we saw that. I have already told you if you have learned the proper diagram or section of testes, transfer section of testes, you can easily understand the process of spermatogenesis. So I will request you to watch that lecture of transfer section of testes before watching this lecture. So we saw that these seminiferous tubules were lined by the germinal epithelium, and beneath this germinal epithelium we were having the primary germ cells and the Sertoli cells or nurse cells. So let us make a small revise like that. What we studied, this was the transverse section of testes, and this was the germinal epithelium. So germinal epithelium consists of 5 series of cells. First was the primary spermatocyte, then secondary spermatocyte, then spermatid, and finally the spermatozoa. Please watch that lecture. So these were basically the germ cells, and along with that it consists of some fine pyramid-like structures which were known as Sertoli cells. Right? So this is basically the site of spermatogenesis. So if I talk about the process of spermatogenesis, because most of the students commit one mistake while studying the process of spermatogenesis. What they do, they directly come to this stage, the 3 phases of the spermatogenesis, but this is actually wrong. So the spermatogenesis basically occurs in 2 stages. Remember, 2 stages. First, there will be the formation of spermatids from the undifferentiated germ cells. So basically in this stage we will study these particular substages, right? So this stage, again I am repeating, this stage will consist of these 3 substages, and when these 3 substages will be completed, then there will be the formation of spermatozoa from these spermatids, and that process is known as spermatogenesis or spermatogenesis. बात समझ में आई, right? So there are some general things that you should know before studying the process of spermatogenesis. That is, the whole sperm development takes place, or the sperm maturation development takes place nearly in 2 months. And second, the release of spermatozoa, because the spermatozoa will be released from the Sertoli cells into the seminiferous tubule cavity. This process is known as spermeation. I hope everything will be clear before going into the process of spermatogenesis, right? So now we will look into the stages of spermatogenesis, all right? So now we will look into the actual process of spermatogenesis. So as I earlier told you that spermatogenesis is divided into the 3 substages or the 3 phases. So I have drawn a very beautiful table here to make the explanation very simple. We will see what are the division types that takes place in all of the phases of the spermatogenesis, and then we will see the types of germ cells that are formed at the preceding stages, right? So first of all we will discuss the very first stage of spermatogenesis, that is the multiplication stage. So as I already told you that the spermatozoa will be the spermatozoa will be formed from the diploid undifferentiated germ cells. So watch here. So these are basically the cells representing the germinal epithelial cells. So these germinal epithelial cells, they will proliferate. And after proliferation they will form the undifferentiated germ cells. So what are basically the undifferentiated germ cells? They are the spermatogonia and the sperm mother cells. So if I compare this process with the plants, so we have observed there the pollen mother cells, right? So in the same way here we have seen the sperm mother cells, right? So all the processes are similar, whether it is plants or whether it is plants if we talk about angiosperm, right? So first of all, these germinal epithelium cells will be converted or they will undergo mitosis to increase their population, and after increasing their population they will be forming or converting into the spermatogonia or the sperm mother cells. So these are basically all are diploid cells. So diploid, and you know the diploid cell consists of 46 chromosomes. So I have represented here the 46 number means the 46 chromosome, and it will be diploid in nature. So in case of multiplication phase, the division type will be mitosis. Now, after the formation of the spermatogonia or the sperm mother cells, the sperm mother cell will undergo, or you can say they will undergo growth phase. So, what is the need of that growth phase? Because after that, it will be converted into the spermatozoa. So, for forming that spermatozoa, they prepare themselves. So for preparing themselves, these sperm mother cells, they undergo without any division, or you can say the second phase, that is the in the growth phase, there is not any type of division, and just the sperm mother cells will increase their size. So while increasing their size, there will be addition of cytoplasm, there will be replication of DNA, there will be addition of cytoplasm in the sperm mother cells, and after the growth phase, the sperm mother cells are converted into the primary spermatocyte. So remember one point, all of these cells can undergo the growth phase, but we are representing only the one, right? So don't think that I have eliminated these three. I am showing the process of maturation of only just one, right? So it will be converted into the primary spermatocyte in the growth phase. Now the next phase is the maturation phase. So in the maturation phase, the primary spermatocytes are first converted into the secondary spermatocyte, and then the secondary spermatocytes will be converted into the spermatid. But what you have to remember that change. So the primary spermatocyte will undergo meiosis 1, and there will be reductional division. So this diploid primary spermatocyte will be converted into haploid. This secondary spermatocyte will undergo meiosis to other haploid spermatids. So as you all know, meiosis 2 is similar to meiosis, so there will be no change in the haploidy. So this is basically the phase number 1 of spermatogenesis, as I have already told you in the previous section. So I will request you all to open the diagram of the transverse section of testis. So what you will observe in the transverse section of testis, these 5 layers of cells: germinal epithelium, spermatogonia, primary spermatocytes, secondary spermatocytes, spermatids, and finally the spermatozoa. So after the first phase, there will be a second phase which is known as the spermiogenesis. So spermiogenesis simply the formation of spermatozoa from spermatids. So this is basically or actually the phase number 2 of spermatogenesis. So this was the complete process of spermatogenesis. Now I hope everything will be clear to you. And one more thing that you have to remember is that in the note section, this is very important to you. So you will be very amazed to know that the size of testis increase when there is addition of these sperm mother cells, or you can say when these germinal epithelial cells undergoes meiosis, the population of sperm mother cell increases, and this increased population of the sperm mother cell is responsible for the increased size of the testis, right? So one more thing is that we observe that from the one spermatocyte we obtain the four spermatozoa. So we can say that the one spermatocyte will give rise to the four spermatozoa, right? So this was all about the process of spermatogenesis. I hope that everything will be clear to you, and after that formation of spermatozoa there will not be any further division, right? So this is basically the mature sperm structure. So in the next lecture we will discuss the structure of sperm, how it looks. So I hope that you have properly understand this topic, and I request you to like the video and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for the next videos. So till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and bye bye.